Hi, it's Dwyer. It is October 31st, 2021. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Let's talk about the Alan Babic, Eric Molina fight at heavyweight that happened on Saturday. But first, remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, Alan Babic is a guy who I have my eye on, right? He idolizes Joe Frazier. Like Joe Frazier, he's a little bit small compared to the guys around him, right? Like Joe Frazier, he likes to be very aggressive. You're not going to see a lot of back foot from him. He believes in his power. He's going to be offensive. He's trying to hunt you down from the opening bell. Now here he's facing Eric Molina, and people need to understand Molina has been in the ring with people like Deontay Wilder, right? This is that cagey vet who has fought top shelf competition, right? At least competition with titles. Eric Molina is one of these litmus test guys for up and coming heavyweights. Very savvy individual. So, of course, you have this fight, and let me just say this. I know it was a night of spectacular early KOs, right? The Jose Zepeda fight among them. But I personally find out a lot more, and I mean a lot more, from fights that go a few rounds, right? Both fighters start out cold at the start of the first round. I believe anybody, while they're figuring out the lay of the land, while they're figuring out the angles, I believe anybody could get hit with a haymaker and might be in severe trouble, unable to recover. Now, in this fight, Babic predictably comes forward. I blame Eric Molina, right? Molina did have a surprise up his sleeve, but I believe when you throw punches, you have to anticipate what's coming back. I can't show up with a secret plan to catch you with a right hand early, throw that right hand, have it miss, and then be wide open for what comes back. Here, Molina has a secret. He opens the fight by trying to throw a heavy right hand. Folks, this is all in the first 10 seconds. Babic, of course, who's right in front of him. Where else is he going to be? Right? Babic isn't trying to hide from you. Babic then is able to duck that right hand and come with his own right hand. His lands. Molina goes down hard. The video of the fight, the full fight, is in my favorites folder here online. Right? Now understand, Molina goes down hard. And Molina gets up, he doesn't have his legs. Babic then comes across the ring, and Molina has to try to find ways to buy time so he could get his legs back. Incredibly, and this is the lesson I'm taking away from the fight, incredibly, he's able to get his legs back. And in that first round, I'm not even talking about the shots that land in the second round. In that first round, Molina is able to land some hard punches on Babic, who, while he idolizes Joe Frazier, is missing the part of the Joe Frazier legacy where Joe is bobbing and weaving. Understand, the bob and weave helped Joe defensively. You couldn't find his head, right? Some guys like Ali eventually, after being in the ring enough rounds with Joe, started landing some hooks on Joe's head. But understand, you had to find Joe's head. The bobbing and weaving isn't for visual purposes. It's to confuse the opponent. Here, Babic, who had Molina badly hurt, doesn't have a lot of head movement. So he gets hit with some Molina right hands. Now let's be clear. We're in a big heavyweight era. You cannot count on getting hit with right hands like that from a Deontay Wilder or from an Anthony Joshua and expect to continue. right? Babic needs to work on his defense. This is not the first Babic fight I've seen where Babic looks like he has the upper hand and then suddenly starts getting hit with right hands. So we get to the second round, and again, you know my basic theory. Boxers are like poker players, right? Eric Molina could look like he's recovered. Think about it in the real world. If some man hit you in the face and knocked you off your feet, 3 minutes later, would you be completely coherent and completely recovered? Folks, that's not the way life works, especially when the guy hitting you in the face is a professional prize fighter. So Eric Molina looks normal at the start of the second round. You know he's still dazed and confused. We understand that boxing has some play acting, right? The referee comes over and says, "How you doing?" after you get up, and you're going to say, "Oh, I'm doing fine. You know, I just slipped. I got a little carried away and just happened to get hit and drop." Right? You're going to act like you're not hurt. Well, Molina's not 100%. But let me fault Molina here. He does land some right hands in the second round. Right? Understand too, Molina, and I'm going to fault Babic here. Molina lands a pretty good left hand in the first round. So Babic is getting hit with both hands. But I'm going to fault Molina. You know Babic is coming up on you. Why aren't you grabbing him? He's not even being that creative, folks. Why aren't you grabbing him? Also, when Babic tries to corner you, why isn't Molina more aware of where he is in the ring? Why is he cornered? Right? Understand, it's not like Molina is pulling off a rope-a-dope. It's not like he's in the corner and you can't hit him. He's getting hit with shots. So why didn't Molina, first off, clinch Babic, right? Get him out of his game. Get him out of his rhythm. Buy some time. Hold him. Or why didn't Molina pivot away from the corner? Doesn't do it. What he does instead, and he does get hit in the back of the head, but he's to blame for it. Molina bends forward to try to hide his body, but Molina bends forward too much. So when he bends, and this is not the first fight I've seen Molina complain about the back of his head. When he bends all the way down. So you see the top of his head. And Babic, of course, is throwing shots. He's trying to win by stoppage. So Molina does get hit in the back of the head, but he's the person to blame. This is almost like turning your back on a fighter in front of you who throws a punch and hits you in the back of the head. Right? So Molina didn't go about this the right way. But I'm going to fault Babic here for being reckless defensively. In other words, Babic is getting hit with too many shots for this era. Right? Again, let's talk about two guys without titles. I imagine Babic wants to beat contenders so he can put himself in a position to fight a Tyson Fury or an Usyk. Right? Neither Deontay Wilder nor Anthony Joshua have belts at the moment. Right? They're looking for fights against other contenders that will keep them in the public light as we get the Usyk Joshua rematch and then the Usyk Tyson Fury fight if Usyk beats Joshua in the rematch, as I suspect. Right? My point to you is if I'm giving advice to a Deontay Wilder, I'm intrigued by fighting Babic. Right? I'm intrigued simply because if a beaten up Eric Molina in a fight where Molina, hit the canvas, is able to, while he's coming to, land clean right hands, I'm just wondering what happens if Deontay Wilder lands one of his A-plus straight right hands on a fighter who, let's face it, is defensively challenged. Right? I also know that in the real world, We like aggression, right? If you're watching a street fight, the guy stepping forward is the guy who you think has the courage, but not in professional prize fighting, right? I believe you need a back foot. I believe you need to keep the other guy guessing. At the world level, right, you need an element of surprise. I can't always be back foot. I can't always be front foot. Now, here, Babic is trying to be Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson, right? Understand, folks, both Frazier and Tyson had excellent upper body movement. As I've said, when you think of Mike Tyson, you think of him moving like this before coming in and throwing bombs, right? Tyson wasn't standing around being aggressive and, number one, not thinking about what comes back when he throws punches, right? You want to be able to throw a punch and have the punch you throw take you out of the other guy's hit zone, right? And of course, Tyson and Frazier understood how to be hard to find as they were on their front foot, right? Babic is too easy to find. The other problem, of course, is this Molina fight was an 8-round fight. It's not like Babic has had a lot of 12-round experience, right? So let's just say, while I'm impressed by his power, he beat a cagey vet. He knocked him down several times. He certainly was the person who dictated the spacing. He had Molina where he wanted him, right? Molina spends a lot of his fight up against the ropes, folks. While I'm impressed by all that, I wasn't impressed by the Savage's defense, right? Alan Babic, to me, looked too easy to hit, right? Let's just say Eric Molina is not trying to be deceptive, folks. He's throwing straight right hands, right? He's throwing them up top. And he's still able to find Alan Babic. The fight doesn't make it to the end of the second round, right? I thought Molina lands at least 3 clean right hands in the 6-minute period, right? I'm not sure if that works. I believe Joseph Parker takes you out with a straight right hand if you're getting hit that often. I believe Dylan White takes you out with a straight right hand if you're getting hit that often, right? Guys are going to start to wait you out, right? So let's just say mixed grade from me on the fight. I congratulate Babic on a big step up in the class of his opponent, right? Eric Molina, again, went several rounds with Deontay Wilder, right? This is a cagey vet who has been in big fights, right? I thought it was a step up in class for the Savage. By the way, that's Alan Babic's nickname, right? I'm using the nickname. But let's just say, and the Savage delivered, multiple knockdown fight. He needs to tighten up his defense if he's going to stick around the heavyweight division, not the Bridgerweight division. If he's going to stick around the heavyweight division, and if he's going to be aggressive like that, he has to think that guys are going to try to defend themselves with heavy artillery, right? He's going to have to tighten up his defense. You cannot get hit like this with big shots. He took them, right? He took them. But you can't get hit like this with big shots in this era, right? You have guys with big punches out there who are looking for a guy who's as wide open as Babic is as he tries to enter the pocket. That's how I see it. By the way, look at the first exchange in the first 10 seconds of the fight. Molina comes with a right hand that barely misses. Babic, to his credit, is off at the side for that moment. Babic comes back with his right hand, right? If opponents are going to be throwing heavy artillery against you, you've got to figure out how to move your body a little bit better than this. I'd also like to see Babic bend a little bit more at the waist. He's too upright, That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section of this video. Thanks for stopping by.